transfer show. Been quite a good season in the end for Chelsea, qualifying for the Champions League and, of course, winning the Europa Conference League. But all the talk amongst their fans is maybe a goalkeeper, but in particular, a striker. Carve, how close are they to bringing in one?
Very close. I think it's almost done. Liam Delap from Ipswich. They've triggered the £30 million release clause. There's total agreement, all parties, club to club, with the player as well. All that needs to happen is for Delap to pass his medical. I think he may be having his medical today or tomorrow, so we expect it to be announced very soon. And we were told at the end of last week that it would be done pretty much as soon as the window opened. The window opened today. So Chelsea have got Liam Delap. Great deal for them, because I think almost half the Premier League wanted to sign him, and he's picked Chelsea because he really believes in what is happening at Chelsea at the moment. He's got relationships with key people at the club because he's worked with them before at Manchester City, and also they're in the Champions League. And he knows that Chelsea have got a very talented squad, but because they're playing in so many tournaments, you will get game time, and he will definitely get game time. And it's the one thing Chelsea fans have really been crying out for. They want an out-and-out striker, someone who's physical, someone who runs his heart out, somebody who gives everything for the team, someone who is also a lethal finisher. And let's hope Liam Delap can live up to their expectations.
Yeah, and he certainly fits the profile for Chelsea. And this is an interesting stat we can show you now, because players under the age of 23 with 10 or more open play goals, he's second only to who could be a future teammate of his in Cole Palmer. So we could see Cole Palmer and Liam Delap in tandem at Stamford Bridge next season. But what could it all mean for someone who looks like he's the odd man out, and he arrived with such fanfare, didn't he, Christopher Nkunku? Yeah,
it just hasn't really worked out for Christopher Nkunku at Chelsea. He almost left last January. Bayern Munich made an offer for him. That wasn't accepted. I think his head was turned, and I think he wants to go back to the Bundesliga. So I think it's pretty likely that he will be leaving. I think Chelsea will sign at least another forward player. Now, it could be another number 9, somebody who plays through the middle, or, as well as that, they will sign another wide player, somebody to play on the left, probably somebody who is right-footed. They're looking at players like Jamie Gittins at Dortmund, Nico Williams, Garnacho at Manchester United. I was told they've got a list of 9 or 10 names. The one that people are talking about a lot is Hugo Ekitike. Are they still in for him? Our colleagues at Sky Germany, they keep reporting. You know, sometimes they're a lot more gung-ho than we are. They keep reporting Chelsea are in for Ekitike. It doesn't matter. They've got Delap. They're still going to get Ekitike as well. I'm not sure. I was kind of told that they are having a serious look at Ekitike, but can Ekitike play in other positions apart from just through the middle? And I think some of our stats people have had a look at his stats and his data, and I think predominantly he plays through the middle. I think a couple of times in his career he's played out wide. So I don't know whether Chelsea are looking at him and thinking he can play on the wide left, but we can use him through the middle as well, or if they're just thinking, no, we don't need another out-and-out striker, let's just focus on the wide player.
Carver, you were talking about recruiting a player for Chelsea who could play on the left with a good right foot. Someone called Jadon Sancho who they could buy, couldn't they?
Yeah. I like the way you did that. No, I mean, Jadon Sancho, he had a really good end to the season. I think he started the final league game, that crucial game at Forest. He played in the conference final as well, scored. But it's a really, really complicated situation. I don't want to bore our viewers, but basically Chelsea took him on loan from Manchester United for the season. They've got an obligation to buy him for £25 million. They can get out of that obligation by giving United £5 million and sending him back to United. They would like him to stay, but for him to stay, he needs to sign a new contract. So they have to agree a new contract, and they won't be able to pay him what he's getting paid at the moment, because he's on big money at United. United are paying half of it. Chelsea are paying half of it as well. So does he need to take a pay cut if he wants to stay at Chelsea? Or can his advisors come to some kind of agreement with Manchester United, so Manchester United pay off the rest of his contract, which would compensate for him having to take a pay cut? I think it's a very complicated situation. I think it's touch and go whether he stays at Chelsea, but some very senior people at Chelsea would like him to stay, but he's got to fit into their wage structure.
You say fit into their wage structure. Just very quickly, Kaveh, just explain that bit of compensation that Manchester United might get if he doesn't end up going to Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, Manchester United have been clever, because I think there was no loan fee, was there, when he moved from United to Chelsea? But United put an obligation. So Chelsea have to buy him £25 million. If they want to get out of that, they've got to give United £5 million to send him back. OK. Time is flying. We've got so much to talk about. Manchester City, Newcastle, Tottenham Hotspur, and more on Manchester United. And what is the future in store for this man, Alejandro Garnacho? More next.
Welcome back to SportLab, your go-to for the inside scoop on all things transfer window. Chelsea fans, it's been a good season. Champions League qualification, a Europa Conference League title, and now, the Blues are charging into the transfer market, hunting for the final pieces to complete Maresca's puzzle. Liam Delap deal done. Chelsea have triggered the £30 million release clause for Ipswich's Liam Delap. The 21-year-old striker is expected to complete his medical today or tomorrow, with an official announcement imminent. Why Delap? Physical striker, tireless worker, lethal finisher. He's seen as the missing number 9 that Chelsea fans have been crying out for, and with Champions League football and multiple competitions next season, he's expected to get real game time alongside the likes of Cole Palmer. What about Nkunku? Things look less bright for Christopher Nkunku. After a tough, injury-hit season and a near move to Bayern last January, Nkunku's head seems turned back toward the Bundesliga. Expect him to be on the exit list this summer. Wide forward search plus Ekitike links. Chelsea aren't stopping at Delap. They're eyeing a wide forward, ideally right-footed, playing on the left. Names like Jamie Bino Gittens, Dortmund, Nico Williams, Bilbao, and even Garnacho, Man United, are on the shortlist. There's also buzz from Germany that Chelsea are still monitoring Hugo Ekitike, but the question is whether they need another pure striker or someone versatile. Jadon Sancho, stay or go? The Jadon Sancho situation is complicated. Chelsea loaned him from Man United with a £25 million buy clause, but they can avoid that by paying a £5 million escape fee and sending him back. If Sancho wants to stay, Chelsea need to negotiate a lower wage deal because they won't match his Man United salary. Can United help bridge the gap with compensation? It's touch and go, but some senior Chelsea figures want to keep him. So, Chelsea are moving fast. Delap's arrival is just the start. But will they reshape the attack even further? What happens with Sancho and Nkunku? And could they pull off a surprise signing on the wings? Stay tuned right here on SportLab. Hit like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Which Chelsea move excites you most this window? We'll be back with updates on City, Newcastle, Spurs, and more, next.